Well, it's PK here on Sunday, live from the kitchen. Sunglasses, jacket, shirt, Rolex watch, and look, pull this off. I can't see a damn thing. What we're going to talk about today and out of the box is I want to get to the heart of the matter, which is because I'm just tired of all the runaround on all these YouTube channels. So the name of the show today, I know you're going to like it, which is the top. I got my notes, I'm reading, so don't excuse me for the gazing here. What are the top 15 trading questions I'm asked all the time? And I'm going to tell you the answer. Are you guys ready? I'll try not to ramble on like I usually do. Number one, what are the best indicators I should have on my platform? Everybody wants to know that. And I want to tell you, it really doesn't matter what indicators you use. It depends on what you like best, because they're all different, relatively different versions of the same thing with some slight differences. It's more important that you like it and it's not complicated. So there is no one answer. There's no magic indicator. In fact, I did a video about indicators. Just keep it simple, not too busy. That's the tip. Number two. Let's see. What is the most reliable technical setup? Seems like a fair question. Who doesn't want to know that? We know there's so many different types of trades. Gaps, this, momentum, buying the dip, selling the rally. This line crosses off the 10, the 20. It's endless, of what is the best setup. And I'm telling you, again, it's like number one. They're all about, and this again, 35 years of my experience, I'm telling you, they work out to about 50-50 in the long run. I don't care what setup you use. Again, it's what you like best, what you feel comfortable with, that you think you could execute over and over again. I'm using 3 or 4 things, right? They're not any better than any other ones, but I happen to love them, and I have no problem doing them. And it doesn't matter what market. So this is that. Number 3, question number 3 is, where's my time? No problem. Number 3 is, this is a classic. I even did a video about this. Does TNA work? Technical analysis. Not this TNA that we all know. I joke about it because I always say TNA. But you know what I'm getting at. Does this technical analysis work? And I want to tell you that I believe it's great for your timing for your entries, right? And even really slightly on getting out, but really on telling you when you should go long or short. Whatever your view of the market is, remember, this is probably more important. Not your setup saying, this is a perfect setup, therefore I'm going to go long, no matter what, because my charts say so. I'm telling you that I don't believe technical analysis is a predictive tool, because A happened, therefore B has to happen. Gap up means they got to rally it, or vice versa. Or it comes down to your line, your moving average, 10, 20, 50, 200, whatever the hell you're looking at. I don't believe these things. Sometimes it looks this way, and you could think, yeah, it does. But believe me, half the time these things aren't going to work. So we're back to 50-50. But it is a great tool. I use this. I strongly recommend it for the first part of the equation. Everybody else is not only using it for timing their entries, but they're drawing measured move, this has to happen, A, B, C, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you, these things don't work in the long run. Anything can work in the short run, and it's just random luck. This is how I feel, PK feels about it. Let's see, where are we at now? Number 5. Is scaling in and out a good strategy? You know, I personally don't think so, and the reason is, we'll talk about scaling in. Scaling in is when let's say you want to do a 3 contracts or 300 shares of the stock. And because we know none of us can pick that timing so well, especially, I'm a momentum trader, but even still, I mean, it sounds good because our timing can't be perfect, but we like the range, the area, the buy range. I'll buy 100 here, shares here, 100 shares here, and 100 shares here. The problem is that you don't always get that opportunity. That maybe you caught it at the right number, and it takes off with your 1/3 of your position. I happen to be a believer that if you really love it, your trade, you should go all in, the full position. You could be hurting yourself trying to scale in. It's again, so many of these things are emotionally easier, but remember, trading is not supposed to be easy. In fact, the harder it is emotionally, usually the better the trade. The harder it is for you to pull that trigger, it usually means you're doing the right thing. And of course, hard to do, but you can think about that. And what about, okay, PK, what about scaling out of that winner? Again, the problem with scaling out, we see this technique talked about. I think this is an emotional crutch, because the problem is if you're buying all your 300 shares at once, like I do, or your 3 S&Ps or ES all at the same time, the problem is if you're scaling out of your winner, you're dumping one you're taking the full risk on all 3 mathematically, and dumping the first one if it goes up a little bit, maybe to make some fast little profit, or your risk back, or your 1 ATR. There's all sorts of theories and techniques for scaling out. And same with the second one. And then I'll let the third one go. But it's that same problem. You're taking the full risk on the full position and not being rewarded on your full position. You're being rewarded, in this example, 1/3 of the position. But it feels good emotionally. It's much easier. And again, like I told you, if it feels good emotionally, forget about it. This is not this is not for trading. You want to feel good? Go to the beach. Go play tennis. Do things that you like to do. Trading is not about trying to feel good. It's about being able to execute things over and over again, and feeling, when I say comfortable about it, that you can do it with ease. And this is not so easy. I'm trying to make it sound easy, but it's not easy for any of us. It could take years to find something that you think, you believe you can execute over and over again. Oh my God, look at the time. I'm just going off again. Okay. All right, I'm trying to keep these answers short. Is using number 6, is using a trailing stop a good strategy? I've done videos about this before. I'll keep it short. The answer is no. Too long to go into. You can write me, write me, call me. I'll tell you the reason why. Is bottom line, it doesn't work. It works in the books. They show the perfect move, but I can only tell you how many times that market go perfect up or down. Rarely. Most of the time, you got to grind it. So I want to tell you, if you're up this big amount, as I've mentioned in my video before, dump the whole thing. You can always get back in. Okay, what's next? Let's see. Number 7. Jesus, 8-9 minutes. I probably lost you guys. You better fast forward it and just quickly write these things down. Again, I've talked about this, one of my big pet peeves. What percentage of my capital should I make on each trade? I see it over and over again. The books say 1.5%, 2%. I'm telling you, if you do this, you're going to end up broke unless you get very lucky in the beginning and have a great start. But we don't want to depend on luck. I'm telling you, the risk of ruin will definitely break you 2%. If you go for 1% of your capital in each trade, you'll last longer. But still, I think 0.5%. Me, myself, I'm even going for less. But the caveat is when you start winning, adding to winners. Then you can go up to 2%. I go to 4 to 1. Sometimes I'll go to 8 to 1. I'll do, if let's say I'm doing one ES, it starts going for me, I'll add more and more and more, or my next trades. Trade bigger when you're in the vibe, when everything's working, you have a good read, the market's your market. Then you can start betting you're at 2%, 1%, and adding to the winners, not adding to losers. Let's see, where are we at now? Okay. So I said 0.5% you should be betting on risk per trade. Number 9, here we go. This is a classic. I know. In fact, all these are great. I get these asked all the time, whether it's here on the computer, on the internet, or in person over the years. Should I, in the books, the trading schools, they all talk about this. I'm working on my discipline. It's discipline. Keeping my journal, my metrics. I'm telling you, forget about all that stuff. Focus on trade management more than picking them. It's more boring, but you need to set these fundamentals in order to really win, to make a difference in your lifestyle. Okay, so what does it say? Number 9, should I set a profit target of 2 or 3 to 1 on each trade? Look, we know they all talk about how much to go for in each trade, and I mentioned before, and it occurs in my previous video, one of my videos, it's not enough. Mathematically, you can win. I did this for years. You'll make some money if you've got great discipline to the downside. You're able to blow those losers out quickly and make 2, 3 to 1. But I'm telling you, it's not going to change your life. So why do it? Who wants to open up a business? It's like being an entrepreneur and settling for a salary. And you think you should go into this thinking you're going to be the next big thing. Whether it's trading stocks or futures. Now, again, trading options and selling options, different story. So this is the thinking. We're here to work to really hit some big winners, to make a difference. It happened to me. I changed my whole life 6 years ago when I stopped going for 3 to 1, 2 to 1. And all of a sudden, everything is unbelievable. But it wasn't so easy to make that change, especially if you're good and you start winning. And you want to become this quote-unquote consistent trader, and you start making this money. And by the end of the, and you look at I made 2 to 1, 3 to 1, and you're going to see there's just too many losers. You make too many mistakes. We're not perfect. So I told you, forget about it. You have to go for more. So this doesn't work. I didn't write this question. What should you go for? Well, if you're going for average 2 to 1, I'm going for 10, 15, 20 to 1. They're not trades every day. That's too much of a stretch. So try going for 6 to 1. Make those trades you think you can make 6 to 1. I don't care what the vehicle is. Gold, ES, NQ, who cares? Let's see. Oh my God, 13 minutes. Let's see. Number 10. So, okay, hang in there. I got 6 more. I'll try to make them answer quickly. There's another classic. Should you enter a hard stop? The answer is yes. Do I do it all the time? Of course not. None of us do. Even of us traders that got great discipline. I feel like I got tremendous discipline. Now, I enter a hard stop on my momentum trades because I'm using a very close stop. But, we know what happens. You put those close stops. In fact, you put any relatively close stop, especially for you day traders, we know what happens. Comes down, stops you out, takes off without you. You're ready to blow your brains out because you're so pissed off. Been there, done it. But in the long run, and I said, one of the solutions, and I talked in my other videos, put an emergency stop in just in case there's a disaster. If you're one of these people that want to watch it and you're tired of being screwed, but I can make an argument, if you're getting stopped out all the time with your closed stop and constantly getting screwed and the market turns around after you get stopped out, then I can say your entries are not too good. You don't have the right entry method. This shouldn't happen. Half the time it can happen. But if it's happening more, you have to reevaluate yourself. Again, you want to see the problems in your trading? Look in the mirror. It's not the market. It's not your platform. It's not your indicator. It's you. So this is a study of yourself. It's a game about battling yourself. Oh boy, where are we at? So that's it. Number 11 is this, another one, is discipline and money management the most important aspect in trading? In my eyes, the answer is yes. I'm not going to go on. It's too long of an answer. I could go on for a half hour about that. Some of you have to write me, call me, talk about this. But yes, the answer is yes. And I mean discipline to the downside. Not about turning this into a science project, which all of us want to try to do because we say, but PK, we got to have discipline in our trading. We have to have a plan. Of course, this is true, but not 100% true. Remember, trading is an art. It's not a science. You have to have some flexibility, but not to the downside. If you're unable to blow yourself out of your trades, you're losers. You're never going to have any great success in the trading until you can master that skill. And I would tell you that's probably the hardest skill to learn in trading, is to be able to throw out those losers because of our ego. We want to be right. Okay, I went off there. Number 12. 12, you guys. Can trading be taught? Look, one, day trading schools. The other thing, one-on-one mentoring. And I'll put it to you this way. The short answer is it's yes and no. Let's talk about the no. The way it's being done is no. You can say, whether even it's me, a mentor, I try to teach my wife and my brother to tell them how I do it, to teach them how I trade. And I'm telling you, this is not going to work. You could have the best mentor, has the best record, and say, teach me how to trade. I want to learn your way. I'm telling you, you're never going to follow it. You have to find what works for you. Then a quote-unquote coach, and I hate that word mentor, but a coach, someone can give you tips on how to improve what you're doing your way. There is no one way in this trading. So that's why it's yes and no. So yes, you can be quote-unquote coached, but you got to find your way to trade that fits your personality, one, and your risk tolerance. Then someone like me or someone who's got experience and really, they can help you. But if I start telling you how I'm trading and say, just do this, 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 and this, you're never going to last, never going to follow it. But you know why? Because I lose half the time. And the minute I lose 3 times in a row, you'll say, forget this PK. What the hell does he know? It doesn't matter if I have success, cars, money. Who cares? Last thing I'll say about this, for all of you who've been around, remember I'm 61, the great story of the turtles. The turtles trading, the trend following, where this Richie Dennis from Chicago took 20 people off the street. But remember, the only way you can truly mentor somebody, right, is if it's, forget about all of you. You guys know too much. Simulation, this and that, experience. You got to take 20 people off the street who've never traded, who know absolutely nothing. Then you can teach them, quote unquote, mentor them on how you trade, because their mind isn't polluted like you, like me. You can, once you start getting in front of that screen for a couple months, even in simulation, you got your own thing going off crazy. That your way, and me and you hadn't found the way yet, but you cannot be taught my way, anybody's way. Last thing I'll say, Richie Dennis said, and he was the top game, proven winner on big money. In those days, 100 million, 50 million, this was big in 1981. Okay, he said the famous thing. He said, I could tell everybody every day in the Wall Street Journal exactly the trade. Buy it here with this stop. Just follow me every day for a year, and most likely you're going to win. No one's going to follow it. Same thing. Even him, because it's not your own. This is what I'm getting at. So that's it. Number 13. This might be a painful answer, but I get asked this all the time. PK, in your 35-year plus career of having a brokerage company, having hundreds of clients, been around the business since 81, still talk to people, meeting people, especially now here on the computer. And the question is, have you ever seen a consistent daily day trader? And I'm telling you the answer is no. Verifiable track record. Can we make day trades that work? Of course. 1/3 of my trades turn out to be day trades. I mentioned this before. But all you, which is most of you, trying to be this, they're selling this dream, and I can go off forever of why, but the fact is, once you can say, well, I know somebody. Is it theoretically possible? Guess it's, but yes, then why aren't they written up in Market Wizards? I can only tell you the only successful classic day traders, and I mean daily, every day, which, making trades, short-term trades, scalping. You know where those people were? They were all on the floor. That was the reason to become a member. Down at the COMEX or NYMEX or CME, the Board of Trade, or join the New York Stock Exchange to get that edge. Now, in the futures, that edge is gone. That's why a lot of these people from the floor, they're the ones who made millions of dollars. And then when electronic trading, boom, came off, couldn't make money anymore. It's just too hard. They lost the edge. The edge was being on the floor, and you had to pay a premium to lease a seat. That's why, we did these things. We say, wait, I tried 2 weeks on the COMEX 1985. I'm a loser. Lost every day. Realized I know what the hell I'm doing. I mentioned in one of my little bios what happened. It was hilarious. But anyway, this is where, so I've never seen anybody with a 3-year record. I've heard people can win for a year. Remember, there's a lot of luck in trading. You think it's your skill because you're winning consistently. I want to make $200 a day, 100, 500, 1,000. Maybe you know somebody. But let's see where they stand 3 years from now or 5 years from now. And remember, I'm talking about someone daily, 5 days a week, grinding it out with their technique or style. Never seen anybody, never heard about it, anybody. And I'm not referring to any of these people from the penny stock world that we see advertised. I don't want to mention any name. I'm sure some of you know who I'm talking about. Again, they would, I've never seen anybody, I've ever heard of a record, even 3 years. 1, maybe 2 years. Look, maybe maybe it's you. Then write me. Tell me, okay, PK, I'm that guy. Prove me wrong. Happy to see it. With audited statements that it's done, and their day trades, every one, not holding it overnight. Look at this, 23 minutes. Oh my God, this is enough time to who knows what. I can lay out in the sun right now. It's 86 degrees in this Florida right now. It's so hot. Number 2 more, you guys, hang in there. I know I've gone way over, but I think these things, everyone wants to know these things. In fact, why isn't there a book that answers 1, 2, 3? They, instead of 300 pages, it costs you $40, $50, $30 for some book, trading book. Why don't they just cut to the chase and tell us what the answer is quickly? At least, look, I'm doing 15 questions. Probably take me 25 minutes. I'm trying to give it more than a yes or no answer. Number 14. Okay. You'll probably like this. I even mentioned this. I did a little video about this. Okay, PK. What's your biggest winner of your career? Your biggest dollar winner? Forget about percentages. This means nothing. Your percentage winner in your 35 career. I'm going to tell you, I mentioned it before. I caught the orange juice freeze in 1983. I was in August. I talk about it. I went long and caught, again, there was some skill, but eventually it's luck because I caught the freeze. I was in August, hoping one of those seasonal markets. And I caught the freeze in December. You can go look it up in your history. What happened in December of 1983. I had just started. It's actually my first biggest winner. And money-wise, to this day, my biggest winner I ever had in trading, which was, I was long 10. It took 4 months in December. I made $75,000 in 5 days. And remember, this is 1983 money. What would that be today? 250, 300? I don't know how we could exactly, but it certainly wouldn't be 75,000. And this what got me really going. Before that, I had some nice winners. Because remember, back then, we had to hold trades. And I held trades for months, but the average holding period was 2 weeks. Anyway, the bottom line is the biggest winning trade I ever had my whole career is 75,000. Am I reading about these people trading on stocks and hitting the options on the Wall Street Reddit group? They're starting with 1,000 or 5,000. They're running up to 100,000 or making $1 million or 20. But again, 20 grand, they turned it into $1 million in 3 days or 2 days or overnight. It's 50 to 1. And let's see what happens to them in a year down the line. It's kind of could be the kiss of death because your confidence goes through. And I wish I was in it. Believe me, I'm a little bit jealous. I'm jealous about it because I have the skill to catch AMC in both directions too. Not in it. Hopefully to open up a stock account in the next couple of weeks so I can follow those Reddit stocks because we say they got the power to move those things. So anyway, and the last question is, of course, PK, what's been your biggest loser in your career? Can't have the biggest winner. We can't brag about the winner. Let's talk about the loser. I can tell you I dropped $10,000 about in one day, maybe in about an hour. But it's my biggest loser. And this was I was in Europe trading the DAX. I was a big DAX trader. In those days, like you, trying to grind out a scalp it, make 2 to 1 quickly, holding trades 15, 20 minutes. Oh, I thought I'm so smart. Making money, but not enough for the work. Look at me, I turned gray and old, and my hair fell out. But I lost 10 grand. Say, well, PK, how'd you lose it? I'll tell you how. Some of you do it or have done it. I think all of us have done it at times. It's part of being a trader, which is, what is it? Averaging down. Tripling down. Bought it here, went against me. Bought more here, and then again here. And you know what happens? Doesn't come back and keeps going down, and you're tripled up. Blow myself out. I totally lost my discipline, lost my cool. We're human. Woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Maybe had a fight with my wife or my girlfriend at that time, but it doesn't matter. You don't get. The fact is, nobody has this perfect discipline. Now, I not have this problem. That's one of the reasons I switched to momentum trading. I don't do this averaging. One out of 10 trades, I'll buy the dip and sell the rally on some technical indicator that we all follow and have up on our screens. So I don't have that temptation anymore, to average down and get stuck and really blow yourself out. Of course, it was devastating. It's not really so much, you think it's the money, believe me, it's much more ego damage. And then you know what happens, the revenge trading takes over, and then you're really in trouble. So anyway, those are the top 15. I've gone way over as usual. Listen, if you have any other questions, okay, write me here on the Messenger and my Facebook, and I promise you I'll answer it. Because I left out quite a few. I could go on for hours, maybe another hour. But I think these 15 questions are the main ones I've been asked many times over the years. And where the hell is the short answer? Well, there you go. There's your answer. If you want a more detailed answer or any other question, write me. So, Sunday, PK with Out of the Box. Back from Europe, still jet lagged. I feel horrible. I look horrible. What am I going to do? But you know what, though? Tomorrow's a trading day. Pretty excited about tomorrow. Got an opportunity. So, wish everyone they recovered this weekend, and let's all make some money this week. Ciao, everybody.